Hello guys, I hope you're doing well, and today's video we are gonna talk about JoyBoy and Odin and how these two characters already shows how One Piece will end. JoyBoy and Odin are very similar characters but born in different eras, but they have a connection, as we know that Wano have some ties with ancient kingdoms, and that's why world government considered Wano as an enemy, and in Wano there is a root poneglyph too. I also think that JoyBoy was the first prince of ancient kingdom, just like Odin. They both leave their country to live how they want. JoyBoy became the first pirate while Odin also became the first pirate from Wano since their border closed. Maybe JoyBoy also have one of his crewmate from Wano. And who knows, the first mate of JoyBoy is an ancient swordsman of Wano, just like Luffy have Zoro. Because I think if JoyBoy has a right hand man, it should be from Wano or it was a giant. Why I say it giant? Well, as we know that the final road poneglyph is directly connected to a man with the burn mark. And I think the man with the burn mark is a giant and also the right hand man of JoyBoy. It is just a theory, but there are some proofs that makes this theory considerable, because the first red poneglyph was in Fishman Island and Big Mom took it. The second red poneglyph was in Zoo and the third poneglyph was in Wano. But what is common with these three places? The importance. As we know that in chapter 11-14 it is revealed us that JoyBoy was a pirate. So if he was a pirate, that means he also had a crew, and if he had a crew, it will be most likely similar to Luffy's crew, because Luffy is JoyBoy, and you can see some similarities because Luffy have fishman Jinbei, also known as the first son of sea. JoyBoy might also have a fishman in his crew, and it might be Poseidon, and we know that Lily hide those poneglyph in different location. And what would be the better place than handing each poneglyph to JoyBoy's crew members? And maybe Lily also was the part of JoyBoy crew, that's why there is a poneglyph in Alabasta. And Fishman having a road poneglyph now makes more sense, because now poneglyph also connecting to some very important characters. I know that poneglyphs are very important, but connecting them to JoyBoy's crew will make poneglyph relevancy even more amazing in the story. And it is also tell us that poneglyphs are not just randomly placed historical objects, they are really connected to JoyBoy's old crew, because the second poneglyph was in Zoo, and we know that Zunisha is also connected to JoyBoy. Maybe he was also a crewmate, just like Luffy have a chopper, and I think Zunisha is also just like Chopper, an elephant that eat the same fruit as Chopper and awakened it. The third road poneglyph was in Wano. And just like I said, JoyBoy crew might also have a member from Wano, or maybe JoyBoy had some connection to Wano, just like Luffy have connection with Momonosuke, who is now the shogun of Wano. So all three road poneglyph is somehow connected to JoyBoy or some very important characters and places. So it is not bad to assume that the last poneglyph is also connected to JoyBoy or his crew member or some kind of place that is directly connected to JoyBoy. And we know that the final poneglyph location is directly connected to the man with the burn mark. And imagine if that man is the right hand man of JoyBoy himself, because it's possible now. For example, the giant robot in again might be the part of JoyBoy crew, because Luffy also have Cyborg Frankie in his crew. It is also another Luffy JoyBoy similarities. And maybe the Noah was the ship of JoyBoy. And now a lot of things making more sense. So let's talk about one of the most important character in the story, Odin. How his story is the reflection of JoyBoy's story. As we know that JoyBoy was defeated in the past by most likely Emu, and I think he was executed by Emu just like Odin and Roger was executed. And I think that's how Emu have that giant straw hat. But let's go back to Odin. As we know that Odin have 9 subordinates who can do anything for Odin, just like a crew. But all of his subordinates wasn't able to do anything when Odin was executed. They all have that big hole in their heart for not saving Odin. And how they redeem himself. They redeem by helping Momonosuke, the son of Odin, to take back Wano and make him the king of the Wano country. So how this is connected to JoyBoy? This is just a theory. I think JoyBoy's crew also failed to protect their captain just like Odin's subordinates, and they will redeem themselves by helping the new JoyBoy, Monkey D. Luffy. Zunisha will help Luffy in the final war by transporting Minx. The robot will do something crazy to save Straw Hat in Egghead. And we know that Shirahoshi aka Poseidon will also be one of the most important allies in the war. That's how JoyBoy old crew members redeem themselves, especially who are alive. So just like I said at the start of the video that JoyBoy's story might be very similar to Odin. We know that how Odin leaves his kingdom to pursue his dream, and because of that a false king sat on the throne of Wano. And when Odin come back from his journey, he tried to save his land and fall. But his will lived on through Momonosuke and his subordinates. And I think same thing might happen 800 years ago. JoyBoy, who I think was the prince of the ancient kingdom, but he leave his kingdom to pursue his dream and become a pirate. When he leave his country, Emu the false king somehow take over the country. And when JoyBoy returned from his journey to his land, he might also try to save his land just like Odin with the help of his crew and the allies he made from his journey. But he failed just like Odin, and his will lived through Nika Devil Fruit that passed down to Monkey D. Luffy. And now I think about it, we might know what is will of D. I think D means dream, and it is the name of the crew of the JoyBoy, the Dream Pirates. And all of the people who have D in their name are the descendant of the JoyBoy crew members. And it is just a theory, so let's leave it right now. So back to the topic, how One Piece will end. As I told you that how Odin and JoyBoy's story is very similar, and how their story ended, especially JoyBoy's ending. It shows us clear path of how One Piece will going to end. As we know that there will going to be a great war if someone find One Piece. It is stated by Great Pirate Whitebeard, and we know that Luffy will going to find One Piece. But one thing we know that Luffy is not the kind of character who can start the war because something bad happened 800 years ago, or would need a very solid reason for Luffy to declare the war against world government, just like Annie's lobby when Robin get kidnapped. So what could be the reason? Well, there are two possibilities. First one is directly related to Luffy's dream. If Luffy's dream somehow connected to free the entire world from world government, or something that is only possible if world government doesn't exist, or maybe a world government somehow indirectly come between Luffy and his dream, then Luffy can declare a war against world government. And the second possibility is just my headcanon, as we know that once Luffy reach Laugh Tale and find One Piece, he will going to become king of the pirate. And world government will do anything so that never happens, especially after finding out that Luffy is the JoyBoy. So what they can do even after Luffy find out One Piece? Well, what if when Luffy reach Laugh Tale and find everything that happens Void Century, Emu attacked on Straw Hat Pirates with his subordinates and defeat Luffy and captured him alive, and then announced the execution of Pirate King Monkey D. Luffy. And as we know that this entire story, or you can say big conflict, started with the execution of Pirate King Cool D. Roger. And it will be a great parallel that the story's final conflict also starts from the announcement of the execution of Monkey D. Luffy, the new Pirate King. Just like Orochi did to Odin, and then it will start the final war. We know Straw Hat will do everything to save Luffy, so they will definitely call all the allies, because Luffy will never ask help from anyone. That's the kind of character Luffy is. But Straw Hat can. We know how Zoro even swallowed his pride for Luffy's sake. And this will be the time that entire Straw Hat crew will going to save Luffy, because Luffy always saved them. And this time every person Luffy saved in his journey will come to help him. Straw Hat need all the helps they can get, because their enemy is the biggest power that ruling over the world from 800 years. And just imagine Straw Hat entering to Marineford or Marijoa with their allies, where Usopp is commanding the giants, Chopper with Minks, Jinbe with Fishmans, Sabo with Revolutionary Army, Momonosuke with Samurai. It will be the greatest war in the history of One Piece. And Straw Hat will do what Scabbards and JoyBoy's crew failed, and that is protect their leader. And you know who can witness this? The Momonosuke, Odin's son, and Scabbards as well as Zunisha. And imagine both Zunisha and Momonosuke witness the dawn of the world that brings by the man named Monkey D. Luffy, because that's what JoyBoy and Odin was waiting for. So this is all for this video. I hope you like this video, share it and subscribe the channel, that would be a great help.